Sea turtles have been on this planet for more than 65 million years, and throughout that time have adapted to their environment, such as the leatherback sea turtle, which can withstand water temperatures of 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Sea turtles have also been able to adapt to their prey, like the loggerhead sea turtle, who has the strongest beak among the 7 species of sea turtle, so that it is able to crack open crustacean shells. Sea turtles have also been able to adapt to their predators, hence the strong shell and the ability to swim up to 22 miles per hour, while the primary predator, the tiger shark, averages 2.4 miles per hour. Unfortunately, there is a new threat that sea turtles may never be able to adapt to: man-made contaminants. Naturally occurring contaminants come in the forms of sediment, erosion, organic waste, and decomposing organisms. To these naturally occurring contaminants, marine life has been able to adapt. But within the past century, more and more man-made contaminants have been entering the ocean biome. Pollutants have become a rising threat to marine life and the prosperity of our oceans. With an estimated 14 billion pounds of waste being deposited into the oceans every year, it is no wonder that the outlook for oceanic organisms is dim. Of the over 1 million species of animals that live in the ocean, sea turtles are one of the thousands that are impacted heavily by human contaminants. As all organisms play a special role in their environment, so too do sea turtles. Unfortunately, all sea turtle species are on the endangered species list due to mainly human factors. An estimation in 2010 stated that nearly 1.5 million sea turtles worldwide have been caught by fisheries in an 18-year time frame. When wrapped around an extremity, the fishing line often becomes tighter with movement and reaches a point where it cuts off all circulation to the limb. When a sea turtle is found to have fishing line wrapped around one or several of its appendages, amputation of the flipper is necessary, as it is no longer able to be used and will become a burden upon the animal. Not only are the nets from fisheries a threat, but so too are the hooks. Sea turtles are often attracted to the same bait and get caught on the same hooks that are used to catch fish. Fortunately, research done by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration showed fisheries caught 65 to 90% fewer sea turtles when using larger circle hooks rather than the traditional dray hooks. The research showed enough promise that regulations were put in place for U.S. fisheries to convert the hooks to circle hooks instead of the current J hooks. Unfortunately, hooks are not the only oral threat facing these majestic sea creatures. Plastics that are released into the ocean also pose a threat during both adolescent and mature phases of the sea turtle's life. For example, microplastics, which are defined as plastic fragments that are less than 3 millimeters in diameter, threaten juvenile sea turtles as they mistake these microplastics for edible aquatic life. When mature, sea turtles can often mistake a multitude of plastics for being a part of their diet. For example, plastic bags are often taken for jellyfish. When a sea turtle consumes these contaminants, it's called an impaction. Since sea turtles are not meant to ingest these materials, they are not able to be passed through the organism's digestive system and become blockages. Without human intervention, oftentimes the sea turtle will die due to these impactions. Although plastic effects are the worst in the ocean, it also affects sea turtles on land, more specifically, on beaches. Beaches are used as nesting locations by sea turtles, who are able to lay up to 110 eggs per nest with 2 to 8 nests per nesting season. It is highly important that sea turtles have clean beaches that are able to hold their precious eggs. In the past decade, sea turtles have been struggling with contaminants and pollution on these important beaches. In 2017, 20 million pounds of trash was cleaned up off of beaches worldwide, with the United States being responsible for 3 million of those 20 million pounds. This not only affects local economies, but local aquatic life as well, such as the sea turtle. When sea turtles are unable to lay eggs, their populations suffer immensely, and with all the species of sea turtles being on the threatened species list, they need as many hatchlings to survive as possible. Out of tens of thousands of sea turtle hatchlings every year, only 1,000 to 10,000 survive to adulthood due to both natural and human-made impacts. There are many obstacles that stand in the way of sea turtles becoming a prosperous species. While there are natural factors that affect all species of life, there are also man-made factors that include microplastics, hooks, fishing lines, and overall trash in our ecosystems. There are thousands of sea turtles that die every year and thousands more that are injured due to negative human impacts. While there are groups working to make a difference, their work may be in vain, and it is vital that as humans, we change our habits and how we affect our surroundings so we are able to preserve the future of this planet and the organisms that call it home.